take a trip back to the ocean. Gonna leave behind the great big sea. Got lots of friends who miss me all across the country. They can see me on MattTv, on MattTV, on MattTV, on MattTV. MattTV is recorded in front of a live audience.
It is, Joe. It certainly is. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 and thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for making your Tuesday night a part of my Tuesday afternoon out here in the south coast of British Columbia. Rain falling here, but not nearly as the awful conditions that are currently being presented to those in the Maritimes. We're going to talk about maritime weather here very, very quickly in the show. Just let me close some windows, refresh my MattTV Facebook page, and we're off to the races. Thanks for hanging out. And a big thank you to Carolyn. In last night's show, I said there is something new. There has been something added to the set behind me, and I was just asking if anyone could identify what it was. Carolyn said yes. This bracelet right here, right next to the second T, is a survival bracelet that was made for me and the girls by Wayne Mason, and I need to get in touch with Wayne Mason about survival bracelets. So congratulations to Carolyn for being so observant and noticing that there is something new here in the set, and I promise you I will get something out into the mail to you as a reward, because everyone likes to be rewarded. Yes. Janice, how are you? Mother, how are you? I'm probably thinking everyone is all their errands were completed today, because what sounds like rolling into the Maritimes, not too many people are going to be leaving their homes tomorrow. I don't think so. So just let me scroll down so I can see my video, see my page, and we're off to the races. Tonight we're going to talk about one specific house party. My mother knows. I used to have, maybe she doesn't know, but I used to have house parties back in the day. I used to have house parties, and I'll tell you about one specific house party that I had when I was going to community college, and I'm going to tell you about a house party here in West Vancouver that happened over the weekend. If you are parents, you might want to sit down when I get to that story. So we're going to talk about really, really expensive house parties. We're going to talk about March Madness. We're going to talk about the third nor'easter that is getting ready to pound the Maritimes. We're going to talk about ketosis. And if you don't know what ketosis is, you may want to look it up, and look it up tonight, because tomorrow I will be talking with a young gentleman. Well, yeah, he's young. He's 38. His name is Robin Young, and we're going to talk about ketosis tomorrow. And that's going to be at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, so 8 o'clock tomorrow in the Woodstock area. I will be talking with Robin Young about ketosis. And at the end of this program, I am going to put some links up about ketosis, and you can do some research tonight on it and then join the program tomorrow. And if you have questions, he will be able to fill the blanks in for you. I'm very excited about this. This is a health journey that Jen and I both are going to be on here within the next couple of days. So we're going to share that with you tomorrow. So I hope you can hang out tomorrow at 4 o'clock Pacific. That's 8 o'clock Atlantic time tomorrow. And I'm also going to be talking with a second individual tomorrow. Tentatively, I will be speaking with Michelle Nowlin tomorrow. We're maybe thinking 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That is Atlantic time. So I will be speaking with Michelle Nowlin tomorrow. Also speaking with Robin Young, but I'll be speaking with Michelle about the latest and newest musical that is being put on by the school back there, Footloose, the musical Footloose. I'll be talking to Michelle Nowlin about that tomorrow. Very excited about that. I was just talking with Michelle on the phone here about a half hour ago, so we'll talk to Michelle tomorrow by phone on MattTV. The interview that I do with Robin will be a split screen, so you will actually be able to see Robin as he is talking about ketosis. Very excited about that. We're going to talk about the Paralympics. I think I gave you some misleading numbers last night when it came to the total number of medals. I'm going to give you a more accurate number of medals for Canada. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about lightning strikes. Lightning strikes, the water crisis, not here in North America, but there is something that we definitely can all do to do our part in the consumption of water. So we're going to talk about a water crisis. We're going to talk about the Junos and Footloose, the musical. So let's get right into the program. Just let me close a couple of windows here. Scroll down to see the video, see the comments, and we are good to go. Thanks for the live views. And I've said this many, many times. It's nice when I have an audience, but it's the content of the show that is the most important, because at the end of the show, I can just hit finish, post it, and you can watch it whenever you want. That's the beauty of the internet. I do put all my MattTv Facebook live shows, I do download those and then put them up on my own YouTube page. And the reason I do that, and I've said this before, the reason I do that, my brother-in-law, Bob, who lives in Toronto, is not on Facebook, but he likes to watch MattTv, so I put the videos up on YouTube so that he can see them. And he left me a message. He was watching the show from last night, and I was obviously mentioning last night that I am starting my second year. This is the second year of MattTv. I started it March 10th, 2017, so I'm into my second year. And he made the suggestion of the best of, maybe putting some clips together, the best of MattTv over the past year. That would take a really long time to do that by editing videos together. So I'm just going to throw it out to you. And you don't have to leave a comment, maybe just in your mind. But what was one of the highlights of MattTv for you, just specifically for you? Was there a moment in any of the broadcasts that I did that really stuck out to you? So if you have any highlights from the past year of MattTv, if you like to share those on my page or send me a private message, that is very, very cool. Jen, how are you? Shirley, welcome to the program. So let's start off with that. I do have my MattTv episodes up here on Facebook Live, and I'm also posting them on my YouTube page for others to view that don't have Facebook. Okay, let's get right into this. I was watching the news this morning, and this can be for children or teens, people in their early 20s who are thinking about hosting a house party, and for parents who think that their kids might be responsible enough to be left home alone for the weekend, knowing that there may be a possibility of a house party. And the reason I'm getting onto this story, here's what happened this weekend. I'm not even making this up. You can probably see it on the news. I saw it this morning on Global TV. This past weekend, a 14-year-old girl rented a house. A 14-year-old girl rented a house in West Vancouver using her parents' credit card. She threw a house party. She was expecting maybe 40 people to show up at this house party. This is a rented home. Over 200 kids, young adults, showed up at this house. Long story short, when the cops showed up and everyone was cleared up, $20,000 in damage to this rental house that was rented by a 14-year-old girl using her parents' credit card. $20,000 damage. Now, the 14-year-old girl will not and is not facing any criminal charges because her parents have agreed to pick up the $20,000 bill for cleanup. At one point, it was within minutes of young people showing up at this rented home that they figured, we need more space in here, so we're going to throw a bunch of furniture into the pool and into the hot tub. Very destructive crowd. Now, that being said, she's bailed out. She is bailed out. I threw a house party when I lived at the Cooler. My days when I was going to community college, me and Rodrigo Norina, we rented a place just up the street from NBCC Woodstock. We called it the Cooler. And every night was Saturday night. And I'll never forget having a party on a Saturday night. And I left the premises for a while. And I remember coming back in the morning and there was furniture. There were many, many holes. Many holes in the wall. People throwing bottles against the wall. I came back to my rental with furniture nailed to the wall. I can't even kid you about that. That was my house party gone wrong. But you think, in the back of your mind, you want to think, especially when you live in a small town like Woodstock, you know everyone, you would hope that people would come to your home with just a little respect. Just a little respect for someone else's property. And sometimes you don't find out who is not going to have that respect until after the fact. I'm pretty sure I know what individual was nailing furniture to my wall, but that's water under the bridge. Many, many years ago. So yeah, that's my first story of the night. A 14-year-old girl renting a house in West Vancouver, and her friends caused $20,000 in damage. And they actually interviewed one of the neighbors in the vicinity of this house party, and he says it's not the first time that house parties have happened at this particular location. He's never seen the owners. So quite bizarre. That made the news. She's probably quite popular in school today. I don't know why, but I'm sure, like, great party. Ooh, $20,000 damage. Madness. It's madness. And speaking of madness, this is the good kind of madness. This is March Madness, and I'm talking about the best basketball tournament that happens only once a year. I need to print off my bracket today or tomorrow. I like to fill out my entire NCAA March Madness bracket before the first tip-off. Now, I know there's the first four. I don't think games get underway until Wednesday. I think games get underway Wednesday, but I need to fill out my bracket before knowing any scores. So if you are a sports enthusiast and you just like to watch whatever sport is on, if you just like watching the live action and the competitiveness of the sport, then I heavily suggest that you invest some time over the next few weekends. Starting this weekend for sure, next weekend, the weekend after that, it is March Madness. It is great basketball. It's the tournament where you lose and you're done. There are no second chances, so you have to bring your A game. You may be the 16 seed. You may be seeded number 16. You may have to play that number 1 seed in the first game. Maybe you upset them. Chances are you're not, but you lose and you go home. So I'm very excited about March Madness. I love the tournament. I didn't really see a lot of the tournament last year, and I think it was due in part that I didn't fill out my bracket. And if I don't fill out a bracket, then I'm not really invested in the tournament. This year around, I find myself unemployed, so there's a real good chance I'm going to see a lot of March Madness. I just want to quickly talk about the storm that is rolling in. If you are living in the Maritimes, the East Coast, please travel with caution. I was just talking with Michelle Nowlin here about an hour ago. She says the weather has already turned. And going right into the weather, I want to do something that I haven't done in quite a while. It's Toby's Edmundston weather. So I'm just going to Environment Canada, and Environment Canada is issuing a special weather statement. Snowfall possibly reaching 15 centimeters expected tonight and tomorrow. And this is just for the Edmundston and Madawaska County, but I can probably assume that everyone in the Maritimes will be getting snow. An intense low-pressure system approaching the Maritimes from the southwest will track across Nova Scotia Wednesday morning, then linger over the Gulf of St. Lawrence on Wednesday. So long story short, this is like your third storm in the last week and a half. Just be careful when you are getting from point A to point B. I'm hoping that a lot of people got their errands done today, because it doesn't sound like the weather is going to be very favorable for travel for the next 24, 48, 72 hours. So just be careful when you're getting from point A to point B. Quickly, I talked about this off the beginning of the show. Tomorrow I will be speaking with Robin Young. He's 38 years old, and he spent the last year and a half researching and getting to know everything that he can possibly know about ketosis. Now, at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to put some links up of videos explaining ketosis, and I'm going to talk to Robin Young tomorrow right here on MattTV at 4 o'clock Pacific time. That's 8 o'clock Atlantic, and we will be split screen, so you will be able to see Robin, and we will be able to take your questions, and he will answer those as best he can. But I can guarantee you the video, I'm hoping there's a video that I've seen, and you almost have to watch the video twice. You watch the video once to listen to what the individual is telling you, and then you have to watch it again to read the comments. You have to read the comments. You have to do it twice because there's just so many great stories coming in from individuals who are taking control of their own health. We're going to talk about ketones tomorrow. I strongly encourage you to make time in your calendar tomorrow to hang out here, 4 o'clock Pacific. I'll be talking with Robin Young about ketosis, and I'll put some links up here at the end of this broadcast, and you can check it out for yourself. Last night when I was in here, I was on the CBC website, and I thought that I was giving you an up-to-date, accurate medal count of this year's Paralympic Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. I was misinformed. I don't know where those numbers were coming from. They seemed really high, but I can tell you right now, our medal count, and the games will start live from Pyeongchang here in about, I think, 5:30 our time. 5:30 Pacific time is when events start live in Pyeongchang. So I will be leaving this broadcast and going in and watching live events on the CBC. But I can tell you right now for sure that Team Canada, we do have 4 gold, we have 1 silver, and 5 bronze. So right now, I think we're sitting in like 6th or 7th place as far as medals compared to the other countries. 10 medals, 4 gold, 1 silver, and 5 bronze currently for Team Canada. What I'm doing here is you can see my notes. You can see my notes. All I did this afternoon, when thoughts came to my mind, I was just writing stuff down. So there is no chronological order except for the first thing I wrote down today was this house party. But I just want to make a quick mention, a happy birthday to Stephen Smith, who is the son of the late Bruce Smith. And it's so amazing. Well, first, happy birthday, Stephen. But I haven't said the name Bruce Smith. I was talking about Bruce Smith. I was talking about Ted Hayward. I was talking about Dave Rogers. All those individuals, they were the backbone, the core of CJ back in the day. And to have mentioned his name and then realized that it's Stephen's birthday today, it's just amazing how the universe works and energy and all that stuff. So happy birthday, Stephen. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you are having a great day. So I just want to close this window here, go back to my MattTv Facebook page. There is no set length. There is no set length on how long I'm going to go for. I know back in the day, I used to do strictly a 60-minute show, and then it was very tight for time. I would do a 30-minute show. Right now, when I run out of things to say, I just hit finish and post it. When I run out of things to say, I'll be done. A couple of interesting stories on the CBC. Michelle, how are you? Scientists can now predict where lightning will strike, which I find fascinating. And there's a lot of things that they take into account. And I wrote this down. Land use, soil type, elevation, surface temperature. So scientists are now trying to pinpoint with a little more accuracy where lightning may strike. As you know, we had the worst year here in British Columbia for forest fires. At one point in total, there were 45,000 people were at one point or another evacuated from their home because of all the fires. So I think it's great that scientists are able to pinpoint with more accuracy now than they were back in the day on where lightning can strike. All I know is if you are in an open field and you see a tree, that is the last place you want to go in a lightning storm. Why? Because it's the tallest thing. It's the tallest thing in the field, and lightning will strike that tree, which is why you always see, unfortunately, dead cattle, dead horses, dead sheep, because the animals gather near this tree for protection. that tree is struck by lightning, that electricity goes through the ground and kills all the livestock. So if you're out in an open field, the only thing you can do in a lightning storm is just lie flat. Make yourself as flat as humanly possible. Michelle, how are you? I was just talking about chatting with you, and we'll chat tomorrow for sure. You just have to give me the go ahead. And it sounds like bad weather is rolling into the Maritimes, so your storm app may be correct. Your storm app is just going to say, everyone stay home today. Everyone stay home. And you can find out more about lightning strikes and all that stuff on the cbc.ca. We're going to go from lightning strikes right into South Africa's water crisis. And I just want to be quick about this because you can find all this information out on your own. You can Google it. You can go to the CBC, go to whatever information source you get your news from. But I can tell you this is happening right now. And I just want to give you some numbers to put things into perspective. South Africa has been going through a drought for the last 3 years. For the last 3 years, South Africa has been in a serious drought. I don't think there's anything but a serious drought. Let me put this into context for how we use water here in North America. North Americans, on average, use 38 liters a day. So each individual is using 38 liters a day coming out of a faucet. Now that's getting water out of your sink, running yourself a bath, having a shower. On average, we are spending 4 minutes. Each person, on average, is spending 4 minutes having a shower. In Cape Town, South Africa, they are being told that they should not use any more than 8 liters per day. They need to be in and out of the shower in 60 seconds. And they have to keep their consumption to under 50 liters. They have to keep their consumption under 50 liters. And I was talking about getting into the shower real quick. Last week I was talking about listening to a song, which on average is 3.5, 4 minutes, and trying to get a task done in that allotted amount of time, which is 4 minutes. So that seems low. I know there are people who are probably in the shower a lot longer than 4 minutes, but on average, people in North America, you included, were using 38 liters per day that is coming out of the faucet. So if there is anything you can do to lessen the consumption of H2O in your household, I recommend that maybe you do some research on it and just go from there. Again, you can find out all this information on the cbc.ca. We talked about the stormy weather in the Maritimes. Just be careful when you're traveling from point A to point B. Your family, your friends, and I know you as well. When you get in a vehicle, you want to make sure that you get to your destination. So I saw a picture up here last week. There is a reason why the big fluorescent sign that is on the back end of a snowplow truck that tells you to stay back 500 yards or whatever, not 500 yards, that would be the length of 5 football fields, maybe like 500 feet. There is a reason that is there, because those blades are connected quite well, but they're also meant to break away if need be. Such is the case that I saw with this picture. Snowplow truck going down the road, it hit a rut and it just stopped dead. And the truck was actually up sitting on top of the blade, which is why you need to give yourself, they need distance. They need distance. The last thing you need to be, I know it sounds great when you're following a plow because they're giving you a nice clear path. That's okay. But give them enough distance so that they can do their job safely. Worst case scenario, if they come to a dead stop, the last thing they need is a passenger vehicle coming into the back of them. So just be safe, be smart, give yourself some extra time to get from point A to point B. Yes? Just a couple more things, and this is all to do with music as we approach 5:30 here on the South Coast. Rain is falling. Beautiful day here yesterday, rain in the forecast for tonight into tomorrow, and then I think we're back into sunshine. So I'm not going to complain about the weather out here because it's just rain. I just want to quickly talk about the Junos. If you are fans of the Bare Naked Ladies and a fan of Stephen Page, I just want to let you know, and you may already know this, but Stephen Page, who left the Bare Naked Ladies back in 2009, is going to rejoin the Bare Naked Ladies to perform at this month's Junos, which are happening a couple Sundays from now. March 25th, which is a Sunday. I think it starts at 5 o'clock from Rogers Arena in Vancouver. And I'm pretty sure, I was talking to Moon yesterday, there is a good possibility that Moon and I, because they will have a red carpet, so you will be able to be outside Rogers Arena, not necessarily go into the program, but I do plan on going into Rogers Arena on Sunday, March 25th, and getting some pictures and some videos of the festivities of this year's Junos that are going to be hosted by Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé is hosting the Junos, so that's going to be a good program. And if you like Canadian music, you will probably find yourself sitting down at the couch wherever you choose and watch the Junos. One final thing, I was talking with Michelle Nowlin here. I mentioned this a few times in the broadcast, but I will be speaking with Michelle Nowlin tomorrow by phone, and she's going to tell you more about the musical Footloose. And Footloose was a great movie, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. It sounds like they have put a tremendous amount of work into this. Some of the things she was telling me about. So it's going to run the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th. There's going to be one performance per day. So that is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Get a hold of Michelle Nowlin for tickets. My cousin Toby has put together a trailer for this musical, and you can see this trailer. The trailer is up on Facebook. I think I've put it up on my own personal page. The trailer for Footloose that my cousin Toby put together is also being played before every movie at Atlantic Cinemas in Woodstock. Very, very cool. There's a cast of like 45 kids. Michelle Nowlin's working with people like Will Davidson, Tim Culbert was a couple of names she mentioned. I know there were some other names, but we'll get into all those details, and Michelle can do all her thank yous tomorrow. But the really cool thing, it's all live music. It's all live music. That's going to be really great. So tomorrow, I have a busy day right here on MattTV tomorrow. By phone, I will be talking with Michelle Nowlin. We're going to talk about the musical Footloose. She doesn't seem to think that there is going to be a school day tomorrow just because of the weather that is rolling in. So if that is the case, I will be speaking with Michelle early afternoon, maybe 1, 2 o'clock p.m. Woodstock time. So it might be 9, 10 o'clock here on the West Coast, which is fine for me. With the 4-hour time difference, I'm very, very flexible. Like I said, it's not always how many people are watching the show. It's the content of the show, because I can just post it. If you can't see it live, you can always watch it at your leisure. That is the beauty of Facebook Live. It's just posting stuff on my MattTV page. So really looking forward to talking by phone with Michelle Nowlin tomorrow afternoon. And later on tomorrow at 4 p.m. tomorrow Pacific time, that's 8 o'clock in the Atlantic region, I will be speaking with Robin Young. And Robin and I, we're going to talk in depth about ketosis. And you may have no idea what ketosis is. He's going to explain all that tomorrow. But in the meantime, I am going to put some links up to some videos and some testimonials from people who are taking ketones. And it's just, so many things have happened in 2018. We all know that 2018 didn't start off fabulous for a few people here in the family. Career changes, being healthier, just being more positive, and just wanting to, whatever benefits me, whatever is making my life happier, my life better, I certainly want to pass that along to you. I want to use MattTV as an educational platform whenever I can. Whenever I can educate you on anything. That's certainly the motivation, one of the driving forces behind this program. So I'm hoping that you'll make time to join me tomorrow on a couple different time slots, talking with Michelle Nowlin about the musical Footloose and talking with Robin Young about ketosis. And I'll put links up to all that stuff here in a few moments, and you can do some research on it, and maybe, perhaps you will join me tomorrow. That's all I have. That's all I have. Wow, that took 30 minutes. That's actually pretty good timing on my part. Anyway, this is fun for me. I just like coming in here and hanging out and like I said, if I can educate you in any way, that's certainly what I'm going to do. But that's going to do it for me. Like I said from the very beginning, when I run out of things to say, I'm just going to hit finish and post it. So thanks for all the live views. Thanks for hanging out. If you're back on the East Coast, please be careful when you are driving. Just get from point A to point B. And if you don't have to be out tomorrow, maybe it's a good idea if you can just call in and say, hey, well, maybe it sounds like everything's going to be shut down tomorrow anyway, so maybe you don't have to worry about it. But just be safe. Just be safe. Nah. Okay, that's going to do it for me. 5:30 here on the West Coast. Go and enjoy some Paralympic. Just go and enjoy the Olympics. The Paralympians are just, they're phenomenal. And the backstories on all these athletes, just tremendous, tremendous humans. And they're so inspirational. So inspirational. So go Team Canada. Go Canada, go. Enjoy the rest of the Olympics. Enjoy the rest of your night. Be safe. And we'll see you back here. I'll let you know 2 or 3 hours in advance when the first MattTv will air tomorrow, talking with Michelle Nolan, and we'll go from there. Okay? Thanks for all the live views. If you like what you see in here, please share. I'm just in here having fun. Just in here having a lot of fun. My name is Matthew. This is MattTv, now and always from sea to sea.